Kindly hold that thought. Let me come back to Mr. Debo Adeniro, especially when we talk about the impact of the economic policies so far on local production and cost of essential commodities. How would you assess how far the government has gone?
Before my colleague came in, everything is doing at the level of the social security is top notch. I know that he is obeying, and he knows what the Nigerian populace deserves, and that's what he has started doing. He also has demonstrated that he's aware that food is essential to the well-being of an average citizen. Yes, the removal of subsidies threw up the cost of food at some level, but now everything is coming down gradually. In some markets now, the people talk about a bag of rice being higher, the cost of a bag of rice being higher than minimum subsidy, as if a minimum subsidy earner need to buy a bag of rice every month. So it has come down. In some places, it is being sold at less than 50,000 naira now, and it will still go down more because of all of these subvention that is being provided, an average farmer, and the removal of taxation on some of these essential commodities, on chemicals and on medicine. All of this will help an average Nigerian to live a better life. Then in the area of corruption, it's been increasingly difficult for an average public or civil servant to commit corruption crimes because technology has been deployed, and eagle-eyed agencies like EFCC, ICPC, and other anti-corruption agencies are not relenting. And it is during this administration, during the period of this administration, that the largest amount has been recovered in one first swoop, from those who have pillaged the commonwealth of this country. And they are not sparing even those that are very close to them. You know what has happened to Betta Edu, despite the fact that her case has not come up. It is not common to see a serving minister being handed over to anti-corruption agencies for prosecution. And that is a novel kind of action from the present administration. In the area of security, farmers can go to their farms in several places that they neither they will prefer not to visit in the olden days. That means that food security will be guaranteed, despite the fact that we're maybe in Benue, Niger Benue Straw. There are still some level of insecurity that plague the people on day in, day out. A lot of effort are put into curbing the activities of insurgents or bandits and those that make life difficult for people. Things are getting better, and they can only be better the way things, they are going. Although several military personnel that are retired may be like a waste of resources, because so much resources have been committed to the training of these military generals and other officers. Our recommendation would have been that such generals could have been made to go through different orientation, which will make them to remain useful for the military authorities, even if they will be confined into the institutions, into the training institutions for the military and paramilitary officers. They will still be useful for the security system, security apparatus of this country. They should not be wasted. I believe that they can still be recalled to make their services, their training, their knowledge, their technical know-how useful for the security of life and property in this country, because that is the main purpose of governance. It is not, it's not going to be easy to curb insurgents. It is going to take a lot of pains and agonies. And that is what we are going through now. At the fullness of time, we believe that those that are being pushed into the battlefront have been sufficiently motivated.
All right.
And that is why they are able to combat.
Right.
Yes.
Mr. Adeniro, apologies. We just want to, we apologize for interrupting you, but then we've got some breaking news coming in now. The president, who has been in Lagos over the past couple of days, is leading the top dignitaries as we can see, the Lagos Coastal Road project is progressing, and now there is going to be a symbolic celebration of the progress done in the Lagos aspect of the work, which is ongoing at the moment. So we will be linking up with the live proceedings over there here in Lagos while this interview will continue on our alternative platforms. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Adeniro, for holding up. Kindly carry on with the rest of your thoughts on this point.
Yes, and that is another landmark project, and including that of Badagry Sokoto on a highway that he embarked on. Some people say that, oh, why are you celebrating 30 over 700% of a project? Of course, we believe that a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a step. The first step must be taken, and it has to be firmly taken. And that's what we have seen in the construction of Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. It has been firmly taken, and we saw it when they started. We saw that it was it was a concrete road, and it was wide and neat, and it was, of course, the thickness is something out of this country. So basically, if they continue the way they have continued, and they are able to manage to execute that 30 kilometers within less than a year that they started, with metal, laying of metal and concrete, we believe that in no time, within a very short period, they will reach the final destination. That is a good example of how leadership should work. And my colleague there read out a number of other road projects which cannot be denied even by the worst of the enemies of the administration. We commend the government for that, and that they have, the government has started looking at ways of alleviating the poverty of an average Nigerian. Is something that has not happened the way it is, and we believe that is only going to make things better, because within the past 2 years, everybody that have suffered one pain or the other is now getting used to the reality of the fact that before now we have been living a kind of fake life, because those who should have one vehicle will have three, because they believe that when they don't know that when they buy a liter of fuel for maybe 169 naira, that government has subsidized by about 610 naira. So now that the reality has done on us, we are already adjusting. What we believe that the government can make better is the supply of electricity, because electricity is needed to power our cottage industries, and the way they have streamlined it, or maybe classified it, Banke Bambiba, is not really working in many places. Where I am speaking to you, we are supposed to be on Banke. I've been running on battery, and that is not good for several aspects of our business. They should ensure that the generation and distribution of energy is seamless, because we have several means of getting, generating power for domestic and industrial use in this country. Government should look towards that direction. Then our law enforcement agencies that are supposed to safeguard the interest of the people should not be left on their own, because if nobody oversights their functions,
right,
they will overstep their bounds, and that is not being curbed, especially at the level of those who are guiding the highways. There are several tens of kilometers that you will travel on some of the desolate roads. You will not see these law enforcement agencies, and incidences are happening. Kidnapping is going on, banditry is going on, and all of that. There should be a new ways of fighting insurgency, so that people will be able to sleep in their houses with their two eyes closed. Our children will be saved when they go to their schools and get back safely. Basically,
Mr. Adeniro, I want to bring Mr. Callistus Okafor into the conversation, especially as the president is commissioned